guys? Today is a very important topic. We are talking about pre-spawn bass fishing. Alright, guys, I'm going to tell you a few of my favorite baits and some of the rod combos that I'm going to be throwing for the pre-spawn to match those baits. We have two different paddle tail swim baits right there. Okay, so we have the Rage swimmers right there. And then in the 3.25K, and then we have the 3/8 Guggen swim baits right there. So now how I like to rig these. Alrighty folks, so let's talk about how I like to rig this bait right here. So this is a Guggen Squad 3/8 inch paddle tail right there, and we have this on my G Loomis E6X rod. And really, my favorite way to throw them during the pre-spawn is just with a little weight on the head. Okay, right like that. So then you can flip it right into those docks, rip it along the weave lines. That's really my go-to because then you can sink it down deep too. So that's the first way I like to fish them. If you have a spinner bait, it's never a bad idea to put a trailer on a swim bait. Okay. Some of my go-to colors for those is going to be like a white one. We've got chartreuse. Can't say that with my Wisconsin accent. And then I've got like a bluegill color here if I can get it, like a bluegill or a crawfish. So those are my favorite ways to throw that, but there's also one more way. One of my favorite baits is a swim jig. So right there, the swim jig, that's also one of my next topics. But the swim jig is also a very great way to throw a paddle tail swim bait. So now that we have a swim jig in my hand, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the swim jig. I throw a swim jig on the same rod right here, G Loomis E6X. What is it? A 7.6 medium heavy. It's a great rod for throwing swim jigs and paddle tails. So the swim jig. My favorite colors are black and blue, white. The Guggen Squad bluegill is also one of my favorites. And I love fishing them during the pre-spawn for one reason. It's a great follow-up bait. It really is. You miss a fish. You miss a fish, right? And he's not biting on the thing that you already had on because, or he or she isn't biting on the thing that you threw at the fish already. So you know what? It's a different presentation. Flip it right under the dock, skip it under the dock. It's endless, okay? And just, slow retrieve it, bounce it up and down off the bottom. Swim jig is such a versatile bait that everybody should have one in their tackle box. So, we've covered two baits, okay? You don't need a bunch of different colors. You could just pick one jig. So, right here, two baits that are amazing and that every fisherman should have in their tackle box. Period, okay? Two baits, great. So I also love to throw is some bigger worms, okay? They're great weightless. They're great weightless, but I really like to put like a 1/8 ounce tungsten weight on there, or even just a lead weight because on the river, you lose a lot of stuff. Like you lose a ton of line and stuff like that, so even a lead weight is good. But right there, a Slim Shake. It's just a great finesse worm. And I guess it really isn't finesse either. It's a big worm. But I love to fish it that way. And also, you can fish it on a drop shot. I like to, just cut half of the worm in half, fish it on a drop shot. It is an amazing bait to throw on a drop shot. All right, guys, so let's talk about what I love to throw wacky rigs on and drop shot on. This is a 13 Fishing Fate Black rod, okay, right here. It's a wonderful rod for drop shots. It's Ned rigs, drop shots, all of my finesse stuff. I love to throw on this rod. Usually you're going to want a bit of a longer rod too, so make sure you're looking at if you're in the market for a new finesse rod. Right here we have a Lewis Mach 2. Okay, right there. I don't know. I just wanted to make it all green if you're wondering. But right there, this is my setup. It's a 7.6 medium fast rod, okay? So, we have those. Next, I gotta see if I have it in here. Aha! Is that even a question? Of course I have it in here. Alright, so we're gonna touch base on different sizes here. Alright guys, 5-inch Gear-on-Your-Moto Grim Pumpkin Senkos. If you're not catching anything, drop it down to a 4-inch. These are Shields. They work the same. They're great. I've done a lot of comparisons between brands. Shields and Gear-on-Your-Moto are the most similar Senko brands, and these are about $3 a pack. So head to Shields, check them out. Go get yourself some. So guys, if you're not catching the quality fish that you want, upsize your worm, okay? 6-inch Senko, same thing, fish the same way, weightless. So those are gonna be my top baits, but I have one more rod to show you guys, and that is my Cinco Rod, so I'm gonna go grab that. So right here, we have a St. Croix Moyak with a Corrado DC on it. This is just a 7'1" medium rod, and it's great for Senkos. It's really light, it's a very sensitive rod, and it's wonderful for throwing those Senkos. Alrighty folks, well thank you for viewing the video. I hope you guys have a great day, and as always, go get them guys.